Wow. Okay. Pardon me. Vote Blue tweets, I never miss a day of the Stephanie Miller Show podcast. She is a comedy genius.
Oh.
I don't feel I get the respect I'm entitled to, even in this room. Do you think?
Why can't you give
Go on
me
the phones.
the respect that I'm entitled to?
Oh, maybe because that word is overused. Unless, of course, you're saying good morning to Paula Poundstone,
Uh-oh.
comedy genius. What is it, Paula Poundstone? Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Seventh time caller, long time listener. I
Yes.
can't keep up with the math. I know that I've been critical of you giving non-union coffee
Yes.
cards to flight attendants and over-caffeinating them
Yes.
in the past.
Yes.
But I understand I get what you were doing. The generosity, the kindness, and
It's
I've
more
been
the
really
thank
moved
you
by
than
it.
it is about the Starbucks card, Paula Poundstone. It's more about the thank you.
Yeah.
I see you. I appreciate you. I'm sorry the
Yeah.
abuse you've taken from MAGA idiots.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I've been really inspired by that. And I want you to know that I was in. I'm on my way to St. Paul, Minnesota this weekend. But last weekend I was in Florida, and I brought for each flight attendant. I went to the grocery store and got a large bag of chips because I realized they live their whole lives in the airport and they've never seen a large bag of chips
They only see the small
before.
ones.
They've never seen a bag with more than, say, 15 chips in it.
Right.
And, you should have seen the looks on their
Yeah.
faces. They,
a revelation.
do they even know it's Christmas? They just,
You must have a large
They were-
carry-on to be able to pack extra large bags of chips for all the flight attendants.
I've shoved them in my clothes.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Then they get
And,
crunched.
So
That's
they're all
something-
broke. So they're all broken up. So you're giving flight attendants bags of mushed
Crumbs.
Yeah, crumbs.
That's not what's important, Stephanie.
Okay.
What's important
The
is
thank you is important.
But
Yes.
but then the flight attendants-
They wept.
They
we
wept.
took off late
Yeah.
because they couldn't get through the announcement on the.
Do you
they
say-
said,
Do you say thank you and some that this contents may have settled during packing?
I have one question for you, Paula.
I made Paula Poundstone laugh.
You
What?
did, yeah.
Paula, do the flight attendants say, but the bigger bags have smaller chips in them because they're all crumbs?
No, they don't. And they may make that observation at some point, but during our exchange, it's really just all love
Yeah.
and crying.
Of course.
And, a lot of my flights have, it was delayed.
Yeah.
They couldn't get themselves together to even say, they kept saying, put your seatbelt, and they just couldn't
They
get the
couldn't
words
get it out.
out.
Yeah. Were they like, thank you so much. We're so sick of those stupid Stephanie Miller Starbucks gift cards. Thank you so much for giving us real
Well, a
food.
lot of them grind their teeth.
Yeah, because of caffeine.
From the caffeine.
All right.
So,
Oh, I have another guest waiting, and you've been a fantastic opening act, and God bless you. God, we thank you for your service here at the Stephanie Miller Show.
well, it's really nice talking with you. All this radio, that's not the way you build relationships, Stephanie, with radio talk.
Isn't it?
I worry about Fanny Sitka because I think, do you say stuff to her like, we'll see you after the break?
Yes.
Or,
Yeah, I'm sorry, honey. Honey, I'm up against a heartbreak. I can't talk anymore about my intimacy issues. All right, love you, Paula Poundstone. We'll see ya. Can you hear me, by the
Hi,
way?
guys.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
All right.
Hello?
Goodbye. Bye. All right, you know what? She's such a big podcast star. She's the number 2 podcast. Pardon me. Right after Rachel Maddow's Ultra. And that's why she needs an opening act now. Remember when we used to be able to just say, good morning, Allison Gill?
Right.
And now it's like a headliner, Allison Gill is here. Hi, Allison Gill. How are you from the brand new podcast, You Don't Know Jack, which is blowing up? Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Paula Poundstone, for opening for me today. That was a very thoughtful gift, though. I mean, that big bag of chips, that's like, they work in airports. That's like $200 worth of chips to those ladies.
Exactly. Can I don't know, you being there with your pussy cat right next to you is just, there's something going on this morning. Can you see?
I can see it.
All right. She described her pussy. It's fine now.
This show is a winner. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This show is a winner.
Right?
Cats love to sit with you at the computer. It's just a fact. Yes.
This is turning into that Johnny Carson, Raquel Welch interview. Would you like to pet my pussy? Sure. Move your cat. Okay. That's what it's. It's a classic.
People 50 and over remember that.
Allison
I don't
Gill.
remember that.
Yeah.
Allison Gill, podcast superstar. Good morning.
Good morning.
This was a brilliant idea. With Andy McCabe, you are hosting a weekly rundown of Special Counsel Jack Smith's investigations. So, talk to us about it. I haven't gotten a chance to listen yet because but I am Travis. You were his gym podcast.
It was my gym podcast yesterday. It was the perfect thing for me to get my anger and frustration out. I can listen to you guys rant about how bad the Mueller report was or the problems with that and how this is going to be different and better. And that made me excited to lift heavier things.
Yeah. And Allison, we've talked before about, obviously, a lot of us that want to see justice, want to see karma, want to see whatever you call it for this criminal that, fake presidented for 4 years, Donald Trump. I get it. People are like, we thought Mueller was the guy. We thought, and so obviously, I feel like there is a lot of, in the legal circles that you and I swim in, there's a lot of, it seems like, well-founded confidence in Jack Smith for different reasons. Can you talk to us about why?
Well, at the very end of the show, because during the show, we, Andrew and I talk about the differences between this and Mueller, how Jack Smith's scope is much broader. We don't have that narrow-shouldered wisp of a Rod Rosenstein curtailing the scope of the investigations. We don't have a Bill Barr to spin the findings. We don't have an OLC memo that says we can't indict him. There's a lot of differences. And I think it was very important that we went over those differences. But I asked Andy at the end, because he's an expert. And, I'm very big about my opinions don't come out of thin air. They're based on what experts say. Right. Because, I'm a comedian for 10 years and I worked at the Department of Veterans Affairs. So I need all the legal
You didn't know one morning you would wake up and Paula Poundstone would open for you, did you? And then dreams come true, the Stephanie Miller show.
Yeah, no, I never thought it could happen to me. Yeah. But this is America. And so I asked Andy, do you think there's a chance he'll be indicted? And Andy had a very straightforward answer. And I think that we can all agree, regardless of whether we're optimists or pessimists or whatever, is that if Donald is not held accountable, then that will be probably the greatest miscarriage of justice in the history of the country. Because that will mean that people are above the law and the rule of law doesn't matter. Yeah. So I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah. Well, and we talked, we don't even need to mention names, but I feel like sometimes people are jealous. You happen to have the most popular new podcast out there. But, it's like, what's with that particular tweet? What was it? What were they calling it? Like performative, like we're getting Trump, whatever this, just in general, what a lot of they accuse a lot of us of doing. It's not just you, right? That we're trying to give false hope or that's performative. We're getting Trump.
I am a grifter profiting every day off of the choreographed illusion of fighting Trump.
Okay. Well, that guy can suck it. Number two, that's not what we're doing. I mean, obviously, you and I and Glenn Kirschner, all the people in our universe, I think truly, truly believe in justice, in our Constitution, in our democracy. And,
I'm a disabled veteran, Stephanie. Yeah. My dad died from exposure to Agent Orange. My grandpa went down on the Gregory in Guadalcanal. Andy McCabe and I were both wrongfully terminated from our government jobs by the former president and his administration. Right. This isn't choreographed illusions of fighting Trump. We actually sued him and won, both of us. Yeah. That is not an illusion of fighting Trump. That is a reality of fighting Trump. I raised $750,000 for Democrats. Right. $500,000 in 2020, and we helped fire him because
and if Donald Trump hasn't seen justice yet, that is in no way your fault. Do you know what I mean? It's like those of us that happen to believe in democracy and justice and are going to fight for it every day we have breath, including yours on the battlefield for America.
And by the way, my podcasts are free. There are free versions of all my podcasts. Us too. I doubt he has any free versions of his books.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I wanted to give you a chance because I saw that and I just, am naturally defensive of you because, as you know, I'm just such a huge fan and I think you bring so much just not just like truth and light, but fire to these issues that we all care so passionately about. So I get it. None of us wants to feel like we're just part of the illusion of getting Trump. We actually want them to get Trump, not because it's revenge, because it's justice. Because as you said, it would be the biggest miscarriage of justice if they don't.
I was such a huge counter narrative to Bill Barr's spin on the Mueller findings that they removed me from my government job. It made a difference. I think more people read the Mueller report and were understanding what was happening in that investigation because of some of the work that we did. So I'm very proud of it, personally.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so many things to talk about. First of all, I mentioned this too, Donald Trump refusing to give his DNA to clear himself from the rape accusation of E. Jean Carroll. And you said in a civil proceeding, can refusing to provide a DNA sample be used as a negative inference during trial? I would assume the answer is yes, right? I mean, if that could clear you, why wouldn't you?
I would think so, but I know that you can't plead the fifth against giving a DNA sample, and pleading the fifth is what gives you those negative, inferences that can be used against you in a civil case. But Andy Laufer, a good friend of ours, lawyer for Michael Cohen, had said, yes, it can be as long as, a couple of conditions are met. And so he responded with that on my Twitter thread. So yes, absolutely. I think it can be used as a negative inference. And if you're innocent, why don't you just hand over your goop?
Yeah. Pardon me?
Your goop.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Or I suppose
your
they can
man
swab
batter.
your cheek.
You can swab a cheek.
We would like your man batter.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be man batter.
Ew.
Yeah.
I don't think it has to be the same kind of material.
Right.
I just got 60% gayer. Okay.
It happens.
Here's another legal question you had for Legal Twitter. You said, do you think Donald got his target letter before Jack Smith was appointed, after he was appointed, or do you think he hasn't gotten one yet? What answer did you get?
My personal belief is, remember that day he said that we should tear up the Constitution?
Yes.
I think that's the day he got it, honestly. He was freaking out that day. He was proofing like every 10 minutes. I think it was that day. And, all a target letter is, hey, you're a target of a criminal investigation. It's like a courtesy DOJ hat tip, like, hey, friends.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I was hoping he got the target letter right before he announced that he was running for president. That way his announcement of running for president could be seen as obstruction.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that would be cool. And maybe that's why he was so, low energy and sad.
Yeah.
Sad.
I'm trying to think big and be glass half full.
Sad.